Welcome to Everton's Greatest FA Cup Victories, Volume 1, featuring classic FA Cup battles from one of football's most majestic and famous clubs. With 21 appearances in the semi-final and 10 in the final itself, Everton hold a record unmatched by any other club. For our first great, memorable occasion, we go back to 1966. Everton in the FA Cup final to face Sheffield Wednesday. Everton managed by Harry Catterick. He'd built a team full of internationals. It was to be one of Wembley's all-time thrillers.
Everton are lining up with a back four of Wright, then the Bone, then Harris number 6, then Wilson 3. What's a good throw to Ford. Bakayoko goal! And Bakayoko scored for Sheffield Wednesday, and number 8 is scored. Is Phantom rather. Bakayok's number 9, there he is, the man who got the goal that clinched the semi-final, has scored now after about 4 minutes play. So Sheffield Wednesday lead 1-0. And Kalliov, and it could well have been a second goal, because I think the first one seemed to me to be diverted. There's Jim Kalliov, Paddy, who said he was choked when he got the goal that clinched their semi-final victory against his old team, Chelsea. And the Bone has to take this goal kick because West decided that he's not fit enough to take it. Well, now Wednesday have got both Harris and Gabriel floundering, looking very leg-weary and very tired. Outlook must be a wee bit grim for the Merseysiders. Young do it, no, and it's Phantom taking over. So well. Oh, he's going for a lovely moment. It's going to be the second goal by Ford. A goal, and that should just about clinch it. Wednesday's Cup, it's Ford. Scored one in the 5th round, 2 in the 6th round. Johnny Phantom was the man who made that one. There's Ford, the scorer, number 10. And they're the happy Sheffield Wednesday fans. And, well, the game goes on with Sheffield Wednesday leading 2-0. And how long have we had in the second half? About 12 minutes. The longer this game goes, Sheffield Wednesday are getting on top, playing the better football. They look the fitter side, and now Everton are definitely labouring. That charge of West must have made a great contribution to the comeback. And here's Alex Young. Hardy to Gabriel to Harris. Now a chance for Trabilko. He scored. No, Trabilko has scored for Everton. 59 minutes of play. So we've got, 31 minutes left. And they're the happy Everton fans. And there's Temple, the man who flicked the ball to Trabilko. Trabilko, number 8, was the scorer. It's 2-1 for Sheffield Wednesday. Now they've got back into the game a bit. You should imagine fresh heart will surge into the Everton players. Alex Young. The other Alex taking over, Scott. And obstruction by Mixon, an indirect free kick to Everton. Sheffield Wednesday have brought everybody back now. They have 11 men between the wall and their goal. Scott going to take it there, you see. Harris moving up. Scott. Trabilko. A goal! He's equalised! Two Everton supporters have raced onto the pitch and they're swamping Trabilko. And their two supporters are going to see no more of this game. One of them thinks it. And a great tackle, almost on the line. Almost on the line as that Everton supporter slipped his coat. And the bone probably telling the man to go quietly. And who's that? Harris, I think. Harris was wearing the policeman's helmet. And there's Mike Trabilko, a player for the modest Plymouth Argyle not so long ago, now the scorer of 2 goals at Wembley, and 2 vital goals which have brought his team from 2-0 down to 2-2. And what a cup final this is turning out to be now. Scots. And Quinn going into Phantom. It's Quinn once again. Phantom. Noticeable. Space is harder to find at the moment for Sheffield Wednesday. Everton buzzing around with much more purpose than they were doing, covering the gaps, making it almost impossible for Wednesday to create space, and now a great chance, a bad mistake by Jerry Young. It's Temple, and it's the third goal. Oh, what a city for Jerry Young. There's Temple. Everton fantastically going to the lead. And another supporter racing onto the pitch. Whoa, there he goes. Calling his mates to come on with him. Well tackled. Well, how stupid that these people should behave like this. Well, they probably think it's very clever, but there's certainly no credit to the great team that they support. So here we go with the kick-off. Sheffield Wednesday 2 up, now 3-2 down, and how long have we got left? 16 minutes left, because this has been a splendid match. And the Sheffield Wednesday players lying down, now getting up. Alan Brown ordering them to get up, orders them to get up and cheer Everton as they go to receive the trophy from Her Royal Highness Princess Margaret. Led by Brian LeBone, and on the field too the sad figure of Vic Mobley, the Sheffield Wednesday star who couldn't play because of injury. Well, it's a good shade of odds that all the Everton players don't get up underneath that back slapping. There's LeBone, and there Her Royal Highness Princess Margaret with the cup. A great cup, by the way. A fantastic comeback. And the medal for skipper Brian LeBone, and there is the FA Cup.
so, Everton lifted the cup in one of the most dramatic Wembley comebacks of all time. 2 decades later, Everton are at Wembley again, in 1984. Their opponents, Watford, facing an Everton side becoming stronger with every game, and now rivaling Liverpool for dominance on Merseyside. In goal, there's the reliable Neville Southall, the perpetual motion of Peter Reid in the midfield, and up front, what an impressive combination, the aggressive Andy Gray and the incisive Scot, Graham Sharp. For Watford, a young winger making his name as a future star, John Barnes.
Watford, possibly the youngest FA Cup final team in history. Everton, marginally more experienced, but the 2 young managers personifying what this cup final really means. Howard Kendall, who in fact will be 38 next Tuesday, but played here at 17 back in 1964, and Graham Taylor, nearer the camera, who became a manager when he was only 28 with Lincoln City. Down on the team benches, Howard Kendall flanked by Colin Harvey to the right of the picture and Mick Heaton. They've also been awarded new contracts this week. And as Riley and Johnston wait to start the final, Graham Taylor with John Ward to the left of the picture, Billy Hales to the right. So all is prepared, and Watford in the yellow shirts and red shorts start the 1984 FA Cup final, playing from left to right, just 6 years after coming out of the 4th division. Johnston is closing, Barnes is up at the far post, and Southall forced to make a save in the opening minute from John Barnes' header. Over the head of Kevin Richardson, here's Bardsley. Watford have profited so often from set plays, that includes throw-ins. It was clear there that they could cause some confusion in the Everton defence. Here's Riley. Andy Gray, with Steve Terry marking him closely there. Adrian Heath. And that was Terry. Wears the headband because of some 50 stitches in facial wounds over the years. Mountfield. Little touch by Gray, found Heath. They've got Trevor Stephen out on the right wing, number 7. Taking on Price, gets his cross in, and Sharp was there. Good wing play by Everton, and Trevor Stephen that was Terry, a good header away from Gray. Reid. Jacket got a tackle in. Heath, Reid. And Heath again. And Richardson. He's normally a good finisher. That wasn't the best of angles by any standards. And Ratcliffe clears. Sharp's header. That was Stephen winning against Price and releasing Heath. Andy Gray is in the centre. Peter Reid's up on the right. It's still Adrian Heath. And it came off Price for a corner. So a corner to Everton, for which Mountfield and Sharp are on the near post. Stephen to Reid. Here comes Gary Stevens. Oh. Well, that was a tester too for Steve Sherwood. Oh, that's also a good pass to Les Taylor. Barnes is trying to stay onside on the far wing. He's come inside for it, and he's got into a good position here. John Barnes for Watford. Good save by Southall. Les Taylor. There is Stephen, in fact, away from Price. Into Reed. Good advantage played by John Hunting. And Reed comes through for Everton. I think it's fair to say that in the first half, Watford have made the cleaner openings. But it's such a good match to watch, and here's Peter Reid handing over to Andy Gray. Richardson. And here he is again. And the cross headed half away, and Stephen Sharp! And a goal for Everton by Graham Sharp! Everton in front after 38 minutes. So John Hunting gets the second half started. Watford now playing from the right. Callaghan didn't see much of the ball in the first half. And that pass came off an outfield to Riley, who gets the ball in, and it's going to run on to Kenny Jackett. And the chip in, and Southall did brilliantly. Kenny Jackett's cross. Stephen again. Gray and Sharp waiting in the centre. And Gray is closing in here. Oh, and Sherwood didn't collect, and the goal is given. The challenge of Gray, too much for the goalkeeper. And Everton are 2-0 in the lead. And Sherwood disappointed. Gray and Everton ecstatic as Trevor Stephen crossed the ball from the right. Andy Gray comes in, marked by Steve Terry, but he beats him and Sherwood, and the ball is in the net. And Merseyside, the Evertonians, are celebrating their second goal. Foiled there by a very good challenge indeed by Steve Terry. He was looking for the diving header. It's played short to Sharp this time. Here's Stephen again. Barnes. And Barnes looks for Johnston. But Watford just can't get a grip on things in the second half. Ratcliffe and his co-defenders look very assured at this period in the match. Riley is in there. Bailey is the defender on the ball. And Graham Sharp, a good challenge, and Reed is thundering forward from midfield. He broke clear of Les Taylor. There are two others after him, including Kenny Jackett, who got a foot in. It's a good thing he did, because that was an inspirational run by Peter Reid. Here's Taylor, and now Barnes. Callaghan trying to sort something out here. Offside, won't count. No, Johnston put the ball in the net, no goal. This long, agonising wait for Evertonians everywhere is almost over. After all those years in the shadow of Liverpool, they are seconds away from a major football honour, and the sporting Watford fans are acknowledging that as well as the performance of their own team. Andy Gray's signing turned Everton's season, and his goal clinched the FA Cup. Their first trophy for 14 years. Graham Sharp, scorer of the first goal. Everton worthy winners of the FA Cup in 1984. Evertonians everywhere. Their first major trophy for 14 years. Graham Sharp, first goal went to him, and Andy Gray behind him got the second. Derek Mountfield, solid in defence. Southall, whose save should not be overlooked. Kevin Richardson, one of the most improved players in the squad. John Bailey kissing his medal. Gary Stevens and Trevor Stephen, especially the latter, had fine matches.
So Everton triumphed at Wembley once again, claiming the cup for the fourth time. And that was to be followed by victory in Europe the following season, as they lifted the European Cup Winners' Cup. A season later, 1985, the cup holders strode on to a tie in the semi-final against Luton Town. Everton have now added the strength of the Welsh international Pat van den Hauwe to their back four. There's also the guile of Paul Bracewell in the midfield. Villa Park was the venue. It's absolutely packed, and Everton, with a unique treble of League, FA Cup and European Cup Winners' Cup firmly in their sights.
Villa Park, a famous semi-final stadium, and two infectious characters in this match used to play their club football here. Steve Foster, a semi-finalist with Brighton 2 years ago, knows his chance of leading Luton out at Wembley could depend on how he suppresses Andy Gray. Like Foster, back from injury today and scorer of 9 goals in his last 10 games. Luton Town in white, playing from right to left in the first half. Sunshine now after showers previously. Here's Breaker. Ricky Hill. Number 11 is Parker. Breaker goes forward straight away from right back. Came off Van den Hauwe. Turner. Trying to find Steen. Bit of a shove, was it by Steen? Apparently not. Referee was happy, he held off Gary Stevens there, did Steen. Joby. He's trying to take them on, Harford, and Joby's in here. He's still in. Oh, blocked by Gary Stevens, nearly on the line. Joby can't believe it. He was past the goalkeeper. And Stevens saves Everton. Kendall, Everton manager, and Sir John Moores alongside him. Reed. Stephen. Sharp. Donaghy. And Bracewell beat Hill, and here's Sheedy. Gray's unmarked on the far side, and was appealing to Sheedy to cross it. He had his hands in the air, Andy Gray. Here's Turner. Steen. Turner again. Joby! 3 times now he's been close. A good cross from Wayne Turner. Joby with the header and Southall with the save. But when Luton look back on the first half, 3 opportunities of one sort or another have come the way of Mecca Joby. Steen. Hill. Looks for Parker. Harford's there. And here's Hill. Ricky Hill! taken. And Luton deserve their lead. Credit first of all to Harford for unsettling the defence, then to Steen actually for holding one of the defenders off. But when it came out to Ricky Hill, that shot was unstoppable. And Sharp's flick, and Stephen didn't. Yes, he did, and a good save by Seeley. Sharp flicked it on. Stephen with the shot, and Seeley had to get down to make a good one-handed save. And the whistle goes for half-time, with the favourites a goal down, but close to an equaliser. Sheedy, Sharp, foul by Foster. He's walking a bit of a tightrope again, Steve Foster, with disciplinary points, although not many of them since he's been with Luton. Mountfield is forward for the kick. That was Mountfield, and that's Sheedy, and here's Bracewell. He hit the post. A fine effort by Paul Bracewell. Howard Kendall, who was beaten on this ground as a player in his semi-final back in 1969 against Manchester City, when with Everton, he's come down to the bench for the second half. Here's Hill. Oh, nicely round Ratcliffe. And the break on the right for Luton is by Gary Parker. Steen's in the centre and there are others joining him. Still Parker. And Harford. And it's Hill again! Good save by Southall. A terrific stop. And when Ricky Hill threatened to get his second goal, Southall, going down to his left, made a magnificent save to keep it out. Joby. Hill. Oh, he's fouled by Ratcliffe. Referee played an advantage which may or may not accrue. Thanks to Turner. Well, they were a bit unlucky there, Luton. The free kick should really have gone the other way, but he thought they had possession, and then Turner conceded one. 5 minutes to go. Harford and Foster are up together. And they've been penalised. Now Everton have got a chance to produce something here 5 minutes from the end, and it was 5 minutes from the end that they equalised against Ipswich, remember, or thereabouts. Is Sheedy going to curl one? He drove one. It's there! Sheedy! Everton have equalised! Just under 5 minutes from the end. Sheedy with his left foot found the bottom corner, and Luton, who must have felt they were at the gates of Wembley, have suddenly been dragged back. Howard Kendall and his team are off the hook again. Sheedy with the kick. What a volley! Stevens. The bench thought that was going in. Well, the relief down there must be enormous. And they could have won it then. score is 1-1. Extra time in the semi-final. But if one feels Everton finished the 90 minutes on a high, one also has to say that they did play a midweek match in Munich, and if it's a question of who's got the legs, well, Luton may feel their fitness is at least equal, if not superior. We shall see. Bracewell, wide to Sheedy. Bracewell again. And Howe, good run by the left back. Great run. And Gray, off the line! Mal Donaghy makes the clearance that keeps Luton in it. And Howe. The last minute of the first period of extra time. Gray looks dangerous again. Reid is coming in. It's Reid! Great save by Seeley. And Reid has held his head. What a save that they'll appreciate. The Luton midfield just hasn't got hold of the game since Everton scored. This is Reid. He has. Foul by Steen. So, 4 minutes from the end of extra time, Everton have another free kick. Sheedy curls it. Mountfield's there, and it's a goal! Derek Mountfield. And the free kick does the trick again, and Everton, the holders, are in front for the first time. Kevin Sheedy curled the kick. Derek Mountfield came in for the header. It's his 10th goal of the season, the big centre-half, and it's by far the sweetest for him and for the Evertonians. But look at this celebration. And look at that disappointment. Bracewell. Howe to Gray. And there it is. Everton are through to their second successive FA Cup final. The holders come from behind to win in extra time, thanks to Derek Mountfield's goal. 21 games unbeaten now, still chasing the treble. Everton, at the end of a hard week, can celebrate again.
A great semi-final triumph, but for Everton, a defeat to Manchester United in the final ended those treble dreams for that year. But Everton came back, and the following year, 1986, saw them return to Villa Park, fast becoming a second home, for another semi-final, this time for a clash against Sheffield Wednesday. The ever-steady Radcliffe and Mountfield still in central defence. With Gray having moved on, Sharp was joined up front by the nippy Heath. New signing Gary Lineker, who was having a sensational season, was injured. A crowd of over 47,000 to see if Everton can make it to Wembley for the third year running.
So the Sheffield following hope it's their turn today, and so does goalkeeper Martin Hodge. Playing after 3 days intensive treatment on a back injury, he captains them against his old club, having played for Everton here in a semi-final 6 years ago. And at the other end, Bobby Mims had a trial with Wednesday as a youngster. He later joined Rotherham, and it was for them he played his last FA Cup tie at Mansfield in November '84. Now he's deputising for the injured, unlucky Neville Southall. So, a sad day for Gary Lineker and Kevin Sheedy, both ruled out of the team through injury. The rain that was falling a few minutes ago seems to have eased now, and Sheffield Wednesday in yellow. Chapman gets the first touch, volleyed clear by Gary Stevens. Everton defending the goal to our right. goes Thompson, looking for Shutt. And Stevens had to concede the corner. And corners are a Sheffield Wednesday speciality. They've scored plenty of goals from set plays this season. Chapman has stood in the 6-yard box. Hart has also gone forward. Hart's flick on, Megson couldn't quite make it, it was close. Gary Thompson. Hart has stayed forward, Shutt. Megson, touching it to Sterling. Couldn't quite get his shot in, deprived by Vanden Hauwe actually. And here's Peter Reid. Good challenge by Richardson, this is Vanden Hauwe. In the way was Megson. Ratcliffe. Well, the near post corner almost worked in Sheffield Wednesday's first attack. The ball was flicked on by Paul Hart, and a taller player than Gary Megson might have finished it. And Gary Shelton got a foot in, and here's Thompson. Now he's onside because he was in his own half. It's Carl Shutt up against Mountfield. On his own for the moment, and happy to force the corner. Snowden will take the corner. Hart and Chapman are nearer to the kicker. The others waiting to come in. Goodness me, it flew right across the goal again, and once more Megson was the player nearer to it for Sheffield Wednesday. Here's Shutt. He's got Megson outside him. And here's Shelton. And Mountfield stood in front of Shelton, and the referee put his arms by his sides and gave nothing. Gary Shelton was in a menacing position. Derek Mountfield appeared to block him, but the referee said play on. Heath's in the thick of it there. It may run on for Sharp. Laurie Madden. Ratcliffe. Free kick. Now Ratcliffe went through with a second challenge on Shirtliff, but it was the first one from Heath that the referee had actually penalised. Now Everton have an injury problem themselves here because Trevor Stephen has gone down awkwardly on the halfway line and requires attention. Howard Kendall's concern is such that he's come down from the stand to the bench to see whether Trevor Stephen can continue. And Alan Harper, the substitute, is getting ready, and it looks as though Stephen is limping his way out of this semi-final. From the way he went down, it looked as though it might be a groin injury to me that Stephen has sustained there. And what a sad day for him to have to go off so early. They've played 27 minutes, and Alan Harper, twice an unused substitute in the FA Cup final, is on the field. Shutt, Sterland, Chapman. Half-time arrives, as it so often does on semi-final day, with no score. It's Ratcliffe with the free kick. Megson's header out, Bracewell. Hooked back in. Snowden away from Harper. Back in by Mountfield. Now Harper is onside. And he's got the ball over the goalkeeper. And Alan Harper, the substitute, has scored for Everton. 5 minutes after half-time, against the run of play, Alan Harper puts Everton in front. And how well he took it. It's the first goal that Harper has scored for the first team this season. They talk about one he got against Liverpool in a Merseyside derby, but they may talk about this one a bit longer. He got free on the right, but as Martin Hodge started to advance, Harper, who did his trade as a fullback and is playing in midfield today, showed a forwards instinct. He lobbed the ball beautifully over the goalkeeper and found the unguarded net. These are anxious moments. Everton having just scored. Hart is there. Shelton's arriving. Away by Stevens as far as Snowden. Back in again. Hart and Chapman. Hart header. Shot! Yes, the equaliser! Carl shot! 3 minutes after going behind, Sheffield Wednesday are level. What a reply! It was instant. Well, the Everton bench was all jubilation when Harper scored. Now they've sobered down because they've seen the equaliser go in at the other end. 3 minutes to go. Stevens taken away as far as Richardson. Mountfield still forward. And Shirtliff takes it away from his own goalkeeper. Corner. Vanden Hauwe racing forward to join Mountfield. Stevens is there too. There is Stevens. It's going to come out to Bracewell. Richardson's cross. Mountfield. Sharp! No! Agonisingly wide. The goal was gaping, but it came quickly at him off Mountfield, and Graham Sharp steered his shot just the wrong side of the post. Shelton. For the third year running, Everton's FA Cup semi-final goes into extra time. So in this first period of extra time, Sheffield Wednesday playing left to right. A replay would take place at Main Road, Manchester next Tuesday. Standing room only there. While Everton are the extra time experts, and here they are on the attack in the first period. Reed. Stevens. Bracewell. Heads it back in. Richardson. Mountfield is still forward. Bracewell. Sharp is hovering dangerously! Goal! What a finish by Graham Sharp! 8 minutes into extra time. Everton are back in the lead. It was a good diagonal ball, but Sharp finished that majestically. And scores to send the Evertonians back into raptures and to give them the sniff of Wembley again. Snowden to take it. And Hart's there again, and Megson's there! And on the roof of the net from Gary Megson. We're in the last minute. Ratcliffe, offside. The Evertonians thought it was the final whistle, but it's not, you know. Players asking the referee how long there is to go. Thompson heads on. And Everton have reached the FA Cup final for the third year running. Only the second club to do so this century.
Wembley once again after another extra-time cliffhanger. But sadly, 1986 wasn't to be Everton's year either. They lost to arch-rivals Liverpool in the final. Let's move forward now 3 years to 1989. For a change, it's not Wembley or a semi-final, which was becoming something of a habit for Everton, but an intriguing match against Plymouth Argyle. Now, Plymouth have the distinction of being the only third division side in recent times to reach an FA Cup semi-final. Everton drew 1-1 at home park and now face them in the fourth round replay at Goodison.
So Plymouth with this throw just inside the Everton half. It's fallen to Summerfield and Marker. Back to Summerfield, who hit it very well on the volley, and Neville Southall had to get a hand to that, and Plymouth threatened the Everton goal in the first 60 seconds. Ball headed back by Marker to Kevin Summerfield, who really struck it well, and Southall had to save. Sharp's underneath it. Again, that's fallen to a Plymouth player. Nicky Marker, well forward. Summerfield, busy in midfield, and a good ball for Tynan. No offside. He gets there. Oh, it was a poor finish. Well, the shouts of exasperation seem to be getting through to Everton. Show more in these last 2 or 3 minutes than they did in the first 20. Snowden to cross. Away by Hodges. Watson got higher. Sharp, Cotty, and Sheedy's arriving as well. Hook back in. Oh yes! Sharp! Graham Sharp's first goal for Everton since his return after that hernia operation. And that coming, well, Everton will feel at a crucial time, because they'd had 3 narrow escapes in their own goal mouth, and the ball hooked back by Sheedy. Sharp was there with no challenge from a defender to head wide of Alan Miller. Everton ahead 1-0. Summerfield wandered a bit too long on the ball and bustled over by Graham Sharp. And as Graham Sharp looks on, an ominous sign for Plymouth as number 7 Kevin Summerfield is stretchered off with his legs strapped together. Just under 10 minutes to go to half-time. Alan Miller's goal kick. Nicky Marker. This is Sheedy for Everton. Trevor Stephen and Vanden Howe. Looking for Cotty's little break. Mark Smith with him, where he's got round the defender. Good ball across the face of goal. Nevin makes it 2-0. Well, Nevin turning to congratulate Tony Cotty. It's Nevin's first goal of the season, the first in 16 games that he's played since joining Everton, but the debt belongs to Tony Cotty. Such a terrific little turn in the penalty area to get around a defender of the experience of Mark Smith, cut it across the face of goal. Miller got a hand to it, but in the end it was easy for Nevin, and it's Everton 2-0. Unbeaten in 1989 so far, Plymouth. This is the 6th game. Having won 3 and drawn 2, and Sharp! Beautiful glancing header to give Graham Sharp his 2nd goal of the match. Cotty. Nevin. Rozelle in front of him. Snowden. They give it Sheedy! 4-0. The ball not long by Snowden. Sheedy watched it all the way, and a clinical finish.
Well, 4's to be a recurring number. There are few football fans who won't remember the next 2 matches and the climax of this video. It's been acclaimed as one of the all-time great FA Cup ties. It's another head-on meeting of the Merseyside Giants in the 5th round of the Cup in 1991. Both sides bidding for a place in the quarter-final. As we join this match, there'd already been one game. Everton had achieved an excellent goalless draw at Anfield. Now they had Liverpool back at Goodison and a great chance to turn that to their advantage.
Liverpool kick-off. Good conditions underfoot. Good conditions for spectating as well. Barnes. Staunton. It runs on for Beardsley. A shooting chance. Oh, and Rush is there! And Southall has stopped him adding to his list. That's a lovely dummy by Sharp. Ray Atterveld raiding on the right. Hussein Grobbelaar started to come and could have been embarrassed. Nevin. Away by Ablett. If this is a sign of things to come, we are in for a rare treat. Liverpool nearly scoring, Everton hitting back, Barnes on the ball. We haven't had an opportunity to have another look at the Southall stop from Rush. We must bide our time as the players who went through 90 minutes without producing a goal on Sunday are striking at the goal right from the off here. Staunton drives it in. Steve Nicol coming in for Liverpool. Ratcliffe. Well, there wasn't much help for Sharp, and I can tell you that Kevin Ratcliffe was being teased by Andy Gray for his forward surges on Sunday. There aren't too many of them these days, and maybe that crossed his mind because he certainly could have gone on further forward a moment or two ago. Oh, well hit by Nevin. Hinchcliffe. Watson trying to force a way through. Newell couldn't get round the outside. Played forward by Staunton. Oh, and Rush has got the better of Ratcliffe. Ian Rush takes on Neville Southall. And off the line by Hinchcliffe. Beardsley! Everton thought they'd escaped, but they hadn't. Venison. Here's Nicol. Liverpool looking for number 2. They haven't got it. The flag is up. Even before Southall made that miraculous stop from Barnes, the linesman was flagging. Well, Everton come out with a substitute on. Stuart McCall replaces Ray Atterveld. Liverpool a goal up as Everton start the second half. It's been such an era of Merseyside derbies in Liverpool's favour since Kenny Dalglish came here as a player in 1977. 41 derbies in that time, and Everton have won only 9 of them to 21 Liverpool wins. Wins a header for the benefit of Nevin. It's McDonald who crosses. Newell poised at the far post. And Nicol is limping. Sharp! It went through Grobbelaar. Less than 2 minutes gone in the second half. Everton fists are raised now, and as Graham Sharp redresses the balance. Sharp in the centre, joined by Everett. Nevin goes his own way. McCall made it his when it wasn't, and Pat Nevin can put them in front, and hasn't, and wonders how he didn't. He's found Nicol, despite the attention to McCall. It's more like Liverpool of the first half. Beardsley, Barnes is free. Oh, I say! They're not only back on top, they're back in front. And it's a bonanza here for Peter Beardsley. In the Liverpool penalty area. Sharp couldn't believe his luck, but he made the most of it. Everton to close him down. Rush! The scourge strikes at Everton again. The merest of flicks, but it was his. Hoping that Tony Cottee, who would love to contribute to setting up a quarter-final trip to his old club West Ham. We're into the last minute. McDonald. McCall helps it in. Cottee! 3-3! The substitution succeeds. Barnes. Free kick to Liverpool. 3 minutes to go to half-time in extra time.
Certainly looked the brightest player on the park in this period, apart from that man we just seen, Neville Southall, who's had to be tremendously alert to produce two stunning saves.
Barnes, it looks for goal! And finds it! For a fourth time, Neville Southall has to pick the ball out. Liverpool regroup, wanting to keep as much together as a unit as they can, as Everton will let them. Newell gets in first well for his side, and Sharp, the support is there from Cottee. Return from McDonald. Newell on the far side. McCall trying to drive ahead of the ball from midfield to reach the knockdown. Hinchcliffe did very well. Oh, and Hussein has let it go to Cottee! They're back from the dead again.
An 8-goal thriller. We pause only for the briefest of breaths before joining the replay. A third tie needed to decide Merseyside supremacy.
Howard Kendall, who I must say was pretty happy a week ago with the way his team had come back, despite Liverpool's long spells of supremacy, particularly early in the match. Hinchcliffe pushing on down the left. And there are four wearing Everton blue in the middle. Ablett heads it out. Sharp. This is Atterveld. Grobbelaar can't hold it. Atterveld goes in again.
What a good move from Everton, showing that they're capable of passing the ball again. And as it comes Satterville, it's a good strike. Bruce Grobbelaar troubled because it just bounces in front of him, but recovers and gets hold of it. Good start, good positive start from both teams. Not a negative thought in their minds at this moment, Mark. It's good to see.
Everton first to a loose ball in midfield. And they get the free kick. Everton, of course, showed some reaction at the weekend by losing here to Sheffield United.
That may well have been a case of after the Lord Mayor show.
Headed on first by Sharp, then by Watson in behind. Nicol Keogh! It's an extraordinary save by Grobbelaar, and it's forced in. Dave Watson.
Well, the aerial route pays dividends for them again, doesn't it? First Sharp, then Watson. A wonderful save from Bruce Grobbelaar. And who is it that comes in? It's Dave Watson again, and rifles into the net.
For the first time in this tie, Everton are in front, despite the agility of Grobbelaar. Mulvey couldn't deal with the ball as it came off the goalkeeper, and it was the other number 5, Dave Watson, a former Liverpool reserve, who thumped Everton into the lead. Satterville getting the better of Staunton. Here's Newell. It's a useful turn. It's a useful cross. Just veered away at the last from Graham Sharp. You cannot emphasise too highly how much it would mean to Everton, who made their worst start to the season, to a season, for 40 years. Liverpool have plenty to lose in going out of the FA Cup, but not everything. The crowd thought they heard the whistle, they haven't. Joe Worrell is looking at his linesman.
It's almost there, Martin.
This cup epic very nearly has a conclusion. It has. David Watson has won it for Everton, but Neville Southall saved it for them in the second half. And Everton are into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup.
And so there it is, Everton finally triumphing on Merseyside. A suitable end to our tribute to Everton's greatest FA Cup victories, Volume 1. Watch out for Volume 2. It's going to be packed with more dramatic memories from Everton, a club steeped in cup tradition.